A teacher in a class wants to have a discussion with the kids about reality and illusion. She decides to give them a few examples so that they can get a better understanding of the subject. She says, "Okay kids, do you see this board?" The kids say yes. The teacher continues, "Great. This means it is real and therefore it exists." Then she says, "Now tell me, do you see God?" The children say that they do not, and the teacher explains, "Exactly. This means that he doesn't exist." She then asks the children to come up with their own examples of reality and illusion. Little Johnny raises his hand and says, "I see the teacher. This means the teacher is real." The teacher is happy with the first example, and so little Johnny continues, "But I do not see her brains, which means that she doesn't have them." A guy got tired of arguing with his wife. It seemed to him that no matter how much he tried, she was able to blow it out of proportion and get upset with him. So he thought to himself, life is too short and too precious to spend so much time arguing. From now on, I will do my best to keep my marriage positive, and will try to avoid arguing any way I can. Excited about his new life, he decides to tell his wife what he decided. So he tells her, "Honey, I realized that life is too short and so decided that I am never going to argue with you ever again." She takes a long look at him and says, "Well, look at him. He decided. Did you ever think of asking my opinion?" A blonde went to a party without her husband. She has a few drinks and after a while decides that it is time to head back home. Knowing that her husband is quite jealous, as soon as she comes through the door, she tells him, "Honey, before you start getting upset, I want to tell you that I have hardly had anything to drink, I didn't dance, and barely talked to any man. Now, do you have any questions for me?" He looks at her and says, "Just one. Where is your dress?" A guy comes to work with a massive bruise on his face. His colleagues are horrified and ask him what happened. He says that he was eating a cake his wife made for him when she realized that there was a wasp on his cheek. "Oh no." His colleagues say, "Did you get stung?" "No, I did not. Luckily, my wife saw it and managed to kill it with a frying pan." Two men talking. One of them says to the other, "Hey John, I heard that a few weeks ago, you got into a fight with one of the MMA champions. And apparently you managed to beat him up." "Yes, that is true," John replies. "But how did you do it?" "Well, that's an interesting story," John says. "He got me into a really tight knot. And just as I was starting to faint, I saw a testicle right in front of my face. So, I gathered all my strength and bit into it really hard. And you cannot even imagine what a person who just bit his own testicle is capable of." Two women met for a coffee. One of them says, "So, last week, I was going through my husband's phone, because I forgot our mechanic's number. I got into his contacts, and one name there caught my attention." "What name was it?" her girlfriend asks her. "The name was Free Sex." The woman says, "So, naturally, I get furious, and I dial that number right away, and immediately, my phone starts to ring." A husband comes home from work and cannot believe his eyes. The garden has been tended to and is looking amazing. He goes inside and is surprised even more. His house is spotless. The piles of laundry have all been folded and put away. The fridge has been cleaned and organized. There is a gourmet dinner waiting for him at the table. He looks at his wife and says, "Honey, the house looks amazing. Did you have a productive day?" She smiles at him and says, "As a matter of fact, I did. But if you do not fix the internet by tomorrow morning, I swear to God, I'm going to kill you."